want to talk about something a little bit different. Because I've been paying attention to the tennis so much, I haven't been able to talk as much about the other sport, but I feel like it's important to talk about Carlos Alcaraz. Now, of course, Carlos Alcaraz is this young phenom, Spanish player. He's already got two majors. He just beat Alexander Zverev in straight sets. Zverev, no slouch of his own. He's just 20 years old. He turned 20 in this ring. He's only 20 years old. He's already a two-time major champion. And he's going for his third major and trying to defend his U.S. Open title. He would be the first man to successfully defend the U.S. Open since Roger Federer in 2008. For whatever reason, I've heard different explanations. They don't always make sense, but I've heard different things that for whatever reason the U.S. Open seems to be the one with the most ridiculous results. Something about some people say like, oh, it's the end of the season and people are tired, which leads to like higher deviance. I don't know. It just for whatever reason, this major people seem to struggle to defend. But Alcaraz well on his way to being the first to do so again in 15 years. Sets up a clash with Medvedev, who's also won this tournament for the semifinal. Of course, on the bottom of the draw, you got Ben Shelton, the young kid who's come out of nowhere this season to get to a semifinals of a Grand Slam. Pretty nice payday. But Alcaraz just looked incredible. Those drop shots and rocket forehands, he just looked completely dialed in today. And sorry. And as tennis fans, we've been waiting a long time for another player like this. You know, after Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, just another player like this that's consistent and can win, can actually win, can get over the hump, beating Novak Djokovic in a Wimbledon final. Because, you know, with Federer out and Nadal on his way out, he's, of course, said that 2024 is going to be his farewell season. So, you know, trying to get some hope that it won't just be Djokovic running the table. Now, understand there's the one side of this is, oh, why can't you just appreciate how good he is that he's still dominating? Because it's not that I don't appreciate him, and I have obviously nothing but respect for Djokovic's game, but it feels almost too inevitable sometimes to a point where I really don't even feel like there's a point in watching. Obviously Wimbledon kind of broke that a little bit, but sometimes I had felt like, I mean, honestly, for the most part, I feel like for the last, 10 years, I've pretty much expected Djokovic to win every single event that he entered. Every single Grand Slam, at the very least. So it's interesting that, well, one, we're trying to think of something so that it wouldn't just be, oh, Djokovic is going to run the table from now until, however long he plays for. I don't know. Obviously, he hasn't really talked about retiring, so I don't imagine that being anything that happens, at least in the foreseeable future. Obviously, he still plays at a very high level, so, barring some kind of major injury or setback or life event in some way, I don't see him stepping away anytime soon. But Zverev, a good tournament. Of course, coming back, he had that horrible injury in the 2022 French Open. Sidelined him for a while. He's coming back. Francis Tiafoe had a decent tournament. Didn't quite equal his result, but got to the quarterfinal. Of course, lost to Shelton. Medvedev lost last year as the number one seed. He was struggling with injury that last season as well after the Australian Open final, but he looks good. I think that should be an entertaining match. So, a lot to look forward to. Championship weekend, of course, Coco Gauff. I kind of, from the beginning, was kind of thinking I'm kind of backing her to win the whole thing. Dismantled Yelena Ostapenko. Madison Keys back in a slam semifinal. Karolina Muchova got to the finals of the French. and Arina Sabalenka, the soon-to-be world number one. So I think on both sides, even especially the women's side, I think it's going to be exciting. My of course my dream final, of course, and what I'd love to see Goff and Keys, honestly, because I'd like to see Keys get another shot because Keys has been they would both of them have one finals appearance and both of them lost. Keys made the final in 2017, and Goff has never made the final here, but of course made the French Open final in 2022. So last year, yes. Okay, yeah, 22. So I'm excited for that. That should be, well, the semifinals will be tomorrow, but I'm excited. I think we're in a good spot. I think women's tennis is in a really good spot, actually. I feel like we got this good handful of young stars that are going to push each other for the next foreseeable years, and then Osaka hopefully coming back beginning of next year, kind of adding herself to the mix. I'm not going to obviously speak on her performance until I actually see her play because, maybe she'll be in form and good to go and maybe not. But only time will tell, and I think it's going to be a really, really, really fun weekend. So the video is a little different than the ones I usually do, but hey, it's my channel.